we actually have a very good surprise for you, because every night throughout the qualifiers, we're trying to interview one of the 8 seeded teams that's already qualified through the Major League Championships that happened earlier this month. These teams include teams like Fulcrum and Simp, Wreak Havoc, Snipe4, Turtle Police, Simple Tankers, Pub Stars, and Strike. And we have tonight a member from Wreak Havoc, and Clutch will be conducting an interview. I'm really excited for it. Clutch, have you casted Wreak Havoc in the past?
I've seen a couple of their matches, but I haven't actually been able to commentate in their matches before. This is really exciting because we get to showcase more of the storylines of these players. And what better way to tell us that these players, of course, than the team captains. We got to interview the leader of River of Blood, which was really neat. We got to interview the leader of I got to interview one of the members of Scurry Hard, Squirrelin at E3, which was great. And one of the reasons why I like to conduct these interviews is, of course, to pat these guys on the back, because this is a very big accomplishment. But at the same time, for the audience to get to know these guys as well outside of the gameplay, to get to see their personalities. Yeah, for sure. And it looks like the interview is ready. Let's see if he's there on Skype. We're going to have to confirm with our producer. Oh, we can see him. Co-captain of Wreak Havoc, it is Snipe4Food. First off, Snipe4Food, congratulations on being one of the 8 teams that's been invited to the Season 1 of the Wargaming.net League North America World of Tanks competition. What are your thoughts of being invited, man? And what are your thoughts so far of watching the broadcast?
So far, the broadcast has been awesome. I mean, it's been cool. I only have a recommendation. Get into the action a little bit sooner with those cameras, because if you look, a lot of these guys will make split-second decisions, and everything happens fast. And it's a little hard to catch, but that'd be my only recommendation. Other than that, it's been cool. I've seen a lot of competition, a lot of cool gameplay going on, strats I'd never think of. Like earlier when we had the team running the T-29s, a lot of people wouldn't think, but that T-29 is pretty similar to a T-32, and it takes this the 724 gameplay action for guys to realize that you can down tier a little bit and not give up the firepower.
That's possible with having the different tank selection and type of tanks you choose. Usually we try to follow the scouts, but some of the pushes that have happened so quickly at the beginning of the match has been pretty snap decisions.
Yeah.
And we want to try to highlight all those decisions, but sometimes we're trying to introduce the map, trying to introduce the different tanks, and they're going for it. So, as always, everyone is learning and growing here at the esports community for World of Tanks, and we always appreciate any feedback from any of the players, any of the community members involved, because we want to make this the best show possible for all of you guys. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, about your team. How did you first get involved with World of Tanks, and what's it like playing on the 7x42 type matches?
All right. Well, about myself, I started out with a group of guys called the Devastation. I played Call of Duty, a lot of games with them, and they said, "Oh, come check out this game, World of Tanks." And I played, and it took me a while to get into, but I really loved it. I found my niche with artillery. Actually, I started out being a very strong artillery player. Went up the German line, found out, necessarily German line wasn't the best arty after all. But
the Grill's pretty good. The Bison's pretty good. A lot of people are using those artilleries.
I do like the GWE, though. GWE was best addition of artillery to the German line. Loved that. And then I kind of branched out to, heavy tanks, and I got picked up in the Clan Havoc. So I got picked up with those guys, came over with a few friends, and Call Me Sarge and Blackhounds and I were like, hey, let's start doing this tournament stuff. So we created the original Wreak Havoc. Blackhounds was the original captain. 3 of us kind of played together, called it, and ever since then we've been playing. We've went under a lot of roster changes. We've only kept a select group of guys I've stuck with, just because of scheduling and everything. But we've been with Wreak Havoc since, I'll be over a year now. We've been doing tournaments together, at least. Blackhounds, Call Me Sarge, Unknown One, and myself. So it's been really fun. We've kept a somewhat tight-knit group of guys, and like I said, we've had a few roster changes, but everyone we've brought in, they've had a lot of fun, and we've been pretty successful through the journey, too.
And overall, when your team heard the news you got invited and the prize pool is going to be for $100,000 and the finals are going to be in Vegas, did this change your schedules? Did this change your life and pretty much how you guys are going to compete, how much time you're going to devote working towards this goal of being up against some of the best in North America starting July 11th? What has changed for you gentlemen?
Well, personally for myself is girlfriend, I had to tell her, hey, we had a little bit of a trip actually planned to go to Vegas. I'm like, we got postponed because I got to be here for these tournament nights. But other than that, you know, I haven't had to change a lot. We changed a few guys on the roster from the team we went in and played with against Fulcrum Gaming. A few of those guys couldn't travel. They couldn't make it to the times. So we subbed a few of the guys out who couldn't do it. I mean, they're still under the Wreak Havoc team. They're just not currently in this season. But other than that, you know, this is pretty much routine stuff for us. You know, we're used to the late night practicing, you know, scrimming against other teams and preparing for these battles.
Well, hopefully Snipe4Food, you'll be in a position where you can take her to Las Vegas just in August. Just postpone it a little bit. You can qualify for the WGLNA finals. My question for you is a question similar I asked Mac G yesterday. If you want to say one thing to all the teams right now that is somewhat controversial, what would you say to them? Something juicy, man. I want something juicy. And he said, just to give you some reference, he said he can take on any single team in a 7x42 TOG 2 battle.
Well, I'll go ahead. I'll get up close so you guys can see my face for this. But, you know, I necessarily don't like to sit around. Sarge may, but if I'm playing against you, I'm calling, and you decide to camp fast, we're going to crush in on you guys, and we're going to break your camp and end it pretty fast.
Ooh, I like it, Andrew. It's Frodan here, man. I just want to ask you about your opinion on some of the teams that have qualified thus far. Scurry Hard, River of Blood, even Cazador is showing like a really weird strat of Spanish-speaking team. What's your experience with some of these guys? Because you've probably played a lot of the top teams. What about these teams that qualified who people don't know too much about? Do you have any opinions on them thus far?
All right, Cazadores, absolutely love those guys. I've played against them. They're really good with their scout work. They've always been really good at map control of scouts, lighting targets. You know, they've been a lot of fun. River of Blood, too. They've been a really good scout team. You know, we played a lot of those AM battles back when they had the really, really early morning tournaments. I remember a lot of the times, you know, 4 a.m. waking up to be in the finals or semifinals with River of Blood. So, you know, those are the two teams I've personally had a lot of experience against. You know, they're both great teams, you know, and I'm glad they've qualified. Third team, I apologize, I'm not exactly familiar with you, but glad to see you making it. You know, we're going to have fun fighting you on the battlefield. And everyone that's made it so far, there's such high-quality players that this is going to be a really fun, tough challenge.
Well, Snipe4Food, we're really glad that your team is qualified. We're glad that we're going to see more of you and your teammates starting July 11th. Any final words, thoughts, or shout-outs?
Shout-out. I'd like to send a shout-out to Invade. You know, we brought him onto the team. He worked his butt off. He's put in 120% dedication. Love to do that for Invade. Call me Sarge, Thybane, you know, Tevix or artillery guys, you know, an unknown one, basically my core group of guys, and everyone else who's joined us and who's played with us. You know, I'm glad I've been able to experience these battles with you, train with you, and develop through the game with all of you. And I hope to see new faces eventually come into play with us, and I hope to see new faces on the battlefield and hope they put up just as good of a challenge as all the other teams have.
Aw, what a good guy.
All right, well, thank you, sir, for coming on and telling us all about yourself and your team. Also, we're going to be sending you a Logitech webcam. You have a pretty good webcam right now, but this Logitech one's pretty sweet as well. So thanks again for coming on.
All right, thank you very much, guys.
All right, so that was Andrew Hopp from Team Wreak Havoc. You'll see a lot more of him starting July 11th. On WGLNA on Twitch, on Twitter, on Facebook, anything you want, just make sure to tag WGLNA.